this video, I want to talk about the most powerful ways how toxic people, and sometimes these are people that we love and care about the most, manipulate us. That leaves us feeling guilty, ashamed, too much, or not good enough. They do that without us even realizing. So I want you to be aware of those situations, and I want you to know how to stand up for yourself and how to choose yourself in any situation. And I promise you, the moment you know how to recognize that kind of situation, you will feel that you have the control of your life. You will feel free. Since I was a kid, I had a deep instinct towards people to save, to rescue, to help, to be there for them, to fix. I thought if I loved more, if I cared more, if I gave more, I will finally receive the love that I deserve. But the hard truth is that when people see you always being nice, always being caring and loving and available, yes, some will respect you for that, but the majority will manipulate it, use it, and abuse it. The question is, why do we do that? Well, because deeply inside, we think that love is something that we need to earn. If I prove that I'm sweet enough, I'm good enough, I'm nice enough, I'm lovable, they will stay, they will choose me. But that is not love. It's self-abandonment dressed as devotion. Love doesn't grow through proving, love grows through respect. Please hear me out. When you tried so hard to be seen as so caring, so nice, so loving, that doesn't make people love you more. It confuses them. It literally irritates them. And over time, it can literally lead to resentment. Because babe, self-sacrifice is not love. Love is not a transaction. The more I give you, the more I will receive. It doesn't work like that. We are loved for how we make people feel, not for how much we give to them. Saying no to people that you really care about is very painful. But you know what's even more painful? Is abandoning yourself. Can we please already establish that choosing yourself is not selfish? I want you to do what I want. That is selfish. But again, having your boundaries and choosing yourself is not selfish. It's literally self-love. You have to protect your peace without apologizing for it. Because if you're not going to do it, who's going to do it for you? Also, you don't need to be rude when you're dealing with toxic people. You don't need to fight fire with fire. But you do need to recognize the game and know inside of your heart that I'm being manipulated right now. And act accordingly with grace and class, not apology. Because every time you allow manipulation, you teach people how to treat you. Manipulation number 1. Guilt tripping. That sounds like, I gave you my best years, and this is what I get from you after everything I've done for you. You're so selfish lately. I barely recognize you. I guess you don't care about me anymore. Who does this? Our parents? Our partners? Sometimes our friends. Especially us as women, we grew up hearing a lot that being good means being selfless. So when somebody says, you hurt me, our whole nervous system goes, I'm such a bad person. I'm disappointed. I failed. What they feel is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is your own feelings. So how to spot this manipulation? When you start feeling guilty, but not for something that you did, but because somebody is making you responsible for their own emotions, that's when you need to pay attention. How to respond to that manipulation? Most importantly, don't go into defense mode because guilt trippers, they want you to apologize, to feel ashamed, to feel guilty. This gives them so much power and feeds their ego. But when you stay calm and grounded, that's when they lose their grip. Say gently and most importantly with an open heart. Look, I understand this is important for you and I want us to talk with openness, but not from a place of emotional pressure and guilt. I'm learning to respect myself too. That's it. Clear and respectful, like a woman of grace and class. Also, if you don't know how to act in the situations, you can always choose to distance yourself, but don't ghost people. Don't just go silent. Explain why you need time right now, why you need space, and why you're choosing to distance yourself at this moment. You can just say, look, I care about you, and that does not change. But after that conversation, after that message that you sent to me, I really need some time. It made me feel uncomfortable. So let's talk next time when it feels more balanced for both of us. So next time the guilt strikes after a boundary, please say this out loud or in your head. This is their feelings and they're not my fault. I said no with love and I'm not a bad person for honoring myself. I can care about them without carrying their emotions for them. Manipulation number 2, silence treatment masked as punishment for not doing what they want. Once I used to date a guy who would literally not talk to me for hours or sometimes for days for doing some stupid stuff, like not closing a kitchen cabinet or not turning off a light. And I would just be like, look, I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't do this on purpose. And he would literally not talk to me for that. And I would apologize. I would cry sometimes. I was young and naive, you know? When you start apologizing in that situation, it gives them so much power. You right away put them above you. I know how painful silence can feel because you feel anxious. You cannot do anything. You cannot focus on anything because all you think about is the absence of clarity in the situation. Because we're humans, we need connection. We need to communicate. We need to understand why are we being treated like that. Immature people, they avoid. Adults, they talk, okay? They speak about the things that happen. How to spot that manipulation. When you feel anxious, unsettled, and desperate to fix a situation, you start apologizing even when you didn't do anything wrong. And because the silence is so loud that it literally drowns your own sense of self, that's a manipulation. How to respond? First, you need to understand why it's a manipulation. First of all, because it shifts power. You go from equal humans to pleading. You put them above you. They literally tell you, you didn't do what I wanted, so now I will make you feel small, unseen, and scared. It teaches you to live in fear, which is not normal. That's not how it's supposed to be. With people around you, you need to feel safe in any situation. You can feel safe anywhere and anytime. That's why I want you to recognize those situations and be more self-aware. Instead of arguing, apologizing, crying, just gently say, look, if you need space, I respect that, but I don't engage in silence as punishment. When you're ready to talk, I'm open. And then walk away. Emotionally, physically, make yourself busy, go meet with your girls, talk to them about the situation, call your family, go do sports, go do boxing, leave. And show the person that he does not have the power over you. And here's some affirmations that you can write or say out loud or say in your head whenever you feel treated like that. I will not trade my dignity for a response. I will not shrink myself either to be seen. I communicate with openness, not silence, and I deserve the same in return. Their silence does not define my worth. I'm always worthy of an explanation, clarity, and peace. Don't chase, don't over-apologize, okay? Promise? Manipulation number 3 is a manipulation that is wrapped as care. That also sounds like, you always twist my words. I'm only trying to help you. I was acting this way because I love you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't even stand up from my chair to even think about this. You're being so sensitive. I literally want the best for you. Trust me, you will regret this. What is really happening? They're not trying to help you. They're trying to control your choices by making you feel guilty, small, and also dependent. Their care comes from a place, if you loved me back, you would do it my way. How to spot this manipulation? You start feeling guilty for wanting something different. When you stop trusting your own emotions, your own feelings, and your own reactions, that's when you're being manipulated. How to respond to that manipulation? Remember, my love, responding in a mean and disrespectful way will not get you anywhere. You need to be smart. Take their hand and say, I know you're speaking from a place of care, and I appreciate that, but I need to choose what feels right for me, and I hope you can support me in that. That's it. Annihilated, literally. Also want to talk about something that took me years to understand is when you are talking to your friends, your parents, your partner, and when you tell them about how you feel, and instead of supporting you, they say, that's wrong. That's not how it was. That's not true. Pay attention because your feelings, they can never be wrong. It's not mathematical calculations. It's your feelings. There's nothing wrong about them. You can feel angry. You can feel happy. You can feel upset. You're allowed to feel whatever you're feeling, and every feeling that you feel is right for you in that moment. When they react this way, what they're really trying to say is, look, I just cannot handle your truth. That's why I'm denying it. But that's not your shame to carry. It's their own limitations. A little affirmation that I want you to repeat in that kind of situation. I really care about them, but I won't erase myself to keep their peace. If you guys are following me for at least a few months, you saw my real glow up. You saw yourself how much I changed in every sphere of life. I lost 20 kilograms. I started making so much more money. I've never in my life had so much attention from men and so many compliments. I moved to a different place. I started my own business. And all of that in just 60 days. So May 10th, I decided to do a private webinar where I will be going live on Zoom where I will be sharing the most effective tips, my secrets, and everything that helped me to change my life. I'm going to go through all 8 spheres of life and will give you all the tips and the biggest motivation that you will use in the next 30 days to truly change yourself. You can book your spot right now in the link in the description. The webinar is only $99, but for that money, you can literally transform your life. I will be talking to you guys. I will be answering your questions at the end. And this webinar is not just based on motivation. It's literally everything that I used and did step by step to change every aspect of my life. So I hope to see you there on May 10th. Manipulation number 4, love bombing, followed by a withdrawal. And it's one of the most disorienting manipulations, especially for deeply loving, romantic, and highly vibrational women like you. You know what's the worst part? It's mistaken with true love. That's what makes it so dangerous. How love bombing begins? Big gestures, huge gifts, bouquets of flowers, a lot of sweet words, emotional intimacy right away, when so quickly they start calling you my soulmate, I adore you, my love, my babe, my ride or die. Literally, you met like a week ago. You feel seen, chosen, adored. It's intoxicating. But then one day you wake up, everything is the same. You are the same. Nothing changed. They changed. Energy shifted. Attention fades. They stop texting you, calling you like they normally do. They start acting busy, and then they just ghost you. You feel abandoned. You start feeling like there's something wrong with you, something that you did. So why they do it? Some people, they just do it unconsciously. They fall in love fast, they burn fast, and then they just disappear. And some people, they just do it manipulatively because it feeds their ego to hook you emotionally so they can avoid their own emptiness. You think you did something wrong. Girl, you did not. Open your ears right now. Most people, they were never taught to face emotional confrontation. They simply don't know how to face you and say, look, I've changed, or this is not working for me. So they simply avoid the discomfort by disappearing, not realizing that silence hurts even more than honesty. It's not about you. It's their own fear of feeling uncomfortable. Ghosting is emotionally lazy. Of course, it's easier to vanish than to deal with the vulnerability of explanation. When somebody ghosts you, it says nothing about your value. It says everything about their own emotional level. I'll give you an example. Imagine a situation. You meet a great guy at the bar. Everything is amazing. The connection is amazing. But he just has problems in bed. Like, he has problems in sex life. Just imagine. He takes your number. He really likes you, but he's scared to get to that point with you. So he simply chooses not to contact you because he knows that he really likes you. And you're sitting there at home, picking on yourself, thinking that there's something wrong with you. That not even this guy from the bar texted you. Are you literally out of your mind? Stop it. Stop picking on yourself. Stop looking for things that are wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's literally a habit that you have. To literally anything that happens, you start looking for things that are wrong with you. Why do you do that? Why does it always have to be something wrong with you? Why can't be something wrong with people? When someone is trying to lose you, help them. Please don't abandon yourself when you need yourself the most. When he love bombed you and then abandoned you, or you had a short relationship and then he left you and never texted you back, never write long paragraphs. Girls, please do not embarrass yourself and me like that. One time, if situation confuses you, you can write, hey, is everything okay? And then after that, if there's still no clarity, let him go. Yes, it's gonna hurt like hell, but I'd rather have my dignity and self-respect than chasing a man who did not choose me. I've had enough of disrespect when I was younger, so I promised to myself I will never, ever, ever, ever again let any man treat me this way. You don't need a man in your life who does not want you. Why do you keep defending someone who clearly does not care about you? At the end of this video, I just wanted to say that games, they feel like fire, but fire will always burn you at the end. The more you play these manipulations, the more you get played by it. You lose yourself in the game that you thought you're controlling. So instead of all of these games, why not be one of the rare people in the world who treat their own heart and the hearts of other people with care? In a world full of players, why not choose to be real, raw, and vulnerable? Never close your heart, even if you've been hurt, because hurt people, they hurt people. But healed people, they become a safe place for those that need healing. And girl, you're not gonna like what I say, but stop searching for happiness in the same place you lost it. Well, that was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for staying till the rest of this video with me. I hope it was informative. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. But before I say goodbye, remember that today is your day. Bye.